Welcome to video number 4 for Unit 2. This video is about two-step equations. Okay, we're going to show the same equation a few different ways and how to solve them. So when we show different strategies, remember that you kind of have to make some choices about which one you understand best and be able to understand all the strategies anyway so that you can explain it to someone. 2x plus 5 is equal to 9 is our first equation. So I want you to think first, we're going to use some boxes to help us, about if there was a number here, what I would do by order of operations. So if there was a number here, the first thing I would do, obviously remember this is multiplication. By order of operations I would multiply, then I would add. Okay, so the same kind of thing is going to happen as we work with solving for x, that unknown number. Okay, so think about what would happen. If this is our x, we don't know what it is, but the first thing that happened to Mr. X is that it got multiplied by 2. Then the next thing that happened to it is 5 was added to it, and that equals 9. So think about when we solve for x, we're going to be doing the inverse operations or working backwards to figure out what number that was. So let's work backwards. Instead of plus 5, I'm going to go back and I'm going to say the inverse of that is minus 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. Remember, inverse operations, instead of times 2, I'm going to divide by 2. And x is equal to 2. Okay, so that's one way to show how to solve for x. Okay, here's the same equation again. 2x plus 5 is equal to 9. This is another way to show that x is equal to 2. Remember that when we did one-step equations, we had to do inverse operations. We got to do the same thing here, except it's going to take us 2 steps instead of 1 to solve for x. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 5 on both sides. Notice that's what we do first. We don't divide by 2 first, just like we did with the boxes. We're working backwards. So we minus 5 on both sides. Remember, if I do it to one side, I do it to the other side. And see what I got from that? 2x is left. It must come down. These 5's cancel out. They're gone. And 9 minus 5 is 4. Okay, next step. 2 times x. I've got to divide both sides by 2. And my final answer again is 2. Another way to show it. Guys, a check is a very important thing to do. So however you solve the equation, make sure that you plug back in your x, your value, and see if it works. If it doesn't work, then you must have made some type of mistake. So here's my equation again. I plugged in my 2 to see if it actually was true. So 2 times 2 plus 5 is equal to 9. Is that true? Well, by order of operations, I'm going to multiply first. 2 times 2 is 4. Add 5, it equals 9. So if I get the same answer on both sides of equals, I know I've done it correctly. One more way to show this same equation. Okay, we're going to be doing this some in class. So whether you like the working backwards or solving on both sides, or whether you like this method, you need to be able to show all methods and be able to explain them. So here's one more way to show it, and this is using our chips. Remember when we did chips in our first unit, we talked about how anytime we see a black chip, that represents a positive one, and anytime we see a red chip, which we're going to use, means a negative one. Okay? So here's our equation represented by chips and also some boxes or algebra tiles. So 2x, and each box represents 1x, 5 positive, so I've got 5 black chips, equals 9. Notice that I also have 9 black chips for positive 9. So I'm going to think about using my chips to help me solve this equation. Well, I know that if I have 5 black chips, the only way to move them or to cancel them out is to add 5 red chips. Remember, those are our 0 pairs. So if I add 5 red chips on this side of equals, if I do it on this side, again I've got to do it on this side, 1, 2, 3, So notice what happens on this side. Remember, anytime I have a plus and a minus or a zero pair, they cancel out. So all of these are going to be gone. Okay, see what I'm left with? I'm left with two x's on this side, okay? So let's go ahead and bring those down because I'm going to show you what we do next with those. So x and x, and I just brought them down since they're still there. Let's bring down our equals. And on this side, remember, I've got to figure out the value of those chips like we did in the chips lesson. If I see 9 positives and 5 negatives, remember I can kind of think about the zero pairs to figure out the value of those. Anytime I have a positive and a negative, those cancel out. Okay, and I'm left with 1, 2, 3, and 4, so positive 4. And those are going to be 4 black chips. Okay, so now, remember this is the same equation as we had before, so it's going to be the same answer. 2x is equal to 4. So that means if 2x equals 4, then 1x has to be equal to 2. So another way to see it, x equals 2. Okay, now it's your turn. You've seen 3 different strategies to solve the same equation. Here's your equation. 3x plus 4 is equal to 13. Your instructions are to choose 2 of the 3 ways to solve this equation. And we will check this during your warm-up time. So make sure that you show your work and again choose at least 2 of the strategies that you just saw.